Hey, good morning, chat. See what's going on here. Gold set for weekly decline. Gold held its recent decline below 33.40. On track for its first weekly decline in 3. A strong US economic data reduced urgency for Fed to cut interest rates. See what's going on here. So we got the numbers. Yeah, we got good numbers yesterday for core retail sales. Good numbers for unemployment claims are here as well. I looked at the price action. Let me see what happened here yesterday. All right, so we got a big dump here. So good numbers for gold meant for US dollar meant that gold should have been coming down, and man, that's what we got. That's exactly what we got. Holy man, like 149 pip drop. No top wick on this. Exactly at 8:30. Sheesh. You know what we got ourselves yesterday? Got ourselves up here. That's where we got ourselves. Imagine holding that position. Can you imagine it? Just imagine it. Oh man, that would be legendary. I think like towards the end of the month, you should give yourself like a shot to catch an absurd trade. And you know, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, you know, anyway, you know how the month is going to end in any case. But just give yourself one shot to catch an absurd trade. Something you would not typically hold. And then just forget about it. On a Freaky Friday. Or after news. After Trump says something. Trump said what? Hold the trade. So you see, this would be like, maybe if I was doing it, I'd probably do like a 1 to 10. A clean 10% or something like that. That would be nice. Not being too greedy. Yeah, then the news came out, then it dumped. Holy. It had a nice little corrective phase here too. So it got like really nice range on the left hand side. Broke above resistance. Rebreak of the candle highs. Stops below this area. Nice. Little SMA confluence. Got stuck in a bit of ranger. Reduced stop loss. And then price continued to move up bullish. All right, then the distributed. Let's get the kill zones in again. Coming to the Asia session. Asia's fizzled out here. I see we're in a correction right now. We're just correcting. Where did London open? Right, just right here. Yeah, we're just correcting this move. It's about like a 33, 37 pip range. There on the left-hand side. Heading up towards 33.44. 33.44 resistance. Asia highs. And we'll got Asia lows down here. Hey, Derek. Good morning, guys. Ricardo, Vikrant. Let's go, Architect. Let's see. What's up, Mike? Freaky Friday. Yes, sir, Ellie. Freaky Friday. Mr. Rashid in the chat. Got Joshua in here early as always. Let's go. What's up, Titus? It's Friday. Don't give back to the market what you took from them. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Last Friday, I did that. Last Friday, I had a winning trade in the morning and then I gave it back afterwards. Yeah, then I went into the weekend. Not nice. Not nice. But I want to take one trade today anyway. I think my psychology, my emotion can handle losing a trade on Friday. But definitely not giving back anything on Fridays is always a good playbook to have. I just want one more or two. The card over here looking for one or two more trades. Need this candle to push to sell. There goes 40 minutes of waiting. What happened? You miss it? Too precise of an entry? Or what is this? Oh, so close. So close. Yeah, the red line. I see it now. I've noticed it's been happening quite a bit of late. Why don't you just make it less perfect? By like 5 pips or something. Like 3 pips. Alright, looks like we're targeting highs here. Let's see how the previous daily closed. Looks like previous daily here closed a bearish. And we've just been chopping up in this range. Look at this little Caesar salad mix over here. Just chopping up. Just like we anticipated, you know, because we have resistance here. Support down here. And this just becomes a range. So you see what I mean? Like when price gets stuck in these ranges, it gets really dangerous. Like it acts, it can act kind of aggressive. This aggressiveness I'm talking about. It's important to understand this because this is the same thing that happens on the lower time frames. Sometimes you're gonna have lower time frame levels like this, and price can like struggle to get through those levels, and then it gets kind of aggressive. Typically, exactly what it did here is what it does on the lower time frames. It would like try to do, it will do a fake out, like an aggressive push, and then an opposite direction. An aggressive push and then opposite direction. That's typically what actually happens. Even if you see the trade from yesterday on the 1 minute, it did like an aggressive push and then a reversal. Because I was still anticipating a reversal within that general zone. So that was pretty much got what I wanted right here. It pretty much happened like even the other trade. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I see it did like a... That was like a fake move up right here on this bullish candlestick. There's a fake push up. And then you still got 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3. And then next candle opens. Like, also doesn't re-break the highs. Look what happens. So I didn't go back on the... Okay, so we're back on the 1 minute. So now you just have this image in your head. Now you just have this image in your head. That price is faking above this area to re-break lows. I think my entries were right here. Re-break of this low. So price could keep pushing down. But this was already the smoking gun. So you're thinking to yourself, oh man, someone's got stuck in here. You know, that's usually what happens when it's a fake out as well. You just have price completely just come in the opposite direction on fake outs. So you get that same exact action right there. Then you're like, oh. Then you start saying, oh, Lee. See, now it's going to break the lows. Oh, Lee. Because that's like a fake out. That's a fake out volume over there. That's a fake out volume. But that was scary though. Look at this. No top wick. No top wick on this candlestick here. I was already in the trade. But you know, this is something like, man, when you're in a trade like this, you're really praying that this candle here, that candle here closes bearish. Because man, if this thing, the longer it's open, the more dangerous that becomes, because it got a reflip. It could even reflip in the last 10 seconds, create a top wick, and then still close bearish. So yeah, the moment it actually closed, that's when you're feeling like a little bit more happy that it closed. You know? And then price just dumped. I think that was a good move. Hey, what's up, tall trader? Hope you enjoyed your little trip there. Glad to see you safe and sound. Send in Discord, Vic. Did that to me. Let's see. Alright, we'll get through the Discord. We got through the Discord. See how price is doing here. So we're not really trending on the daily. Daily is only up 0.16%. 0.16%. Let's see what ranges here on the HTF. You have a resistance. Oh, so many lines. So you got a resistance here by 33.44. Can break above that. That we got like 48 pips. Wait. Yeah, it's trying to re-break these previous 4-hour highs. A little bit of range on the 1 hour. Sorry, 30-minute looks good. 50, not so much. Re-breaking the Asia highs now. But no, I'm not really getting much of a sense of direction here. Of course, because price is just chopping up. So we got like one chop up here, like on the higher time frame. Down there. Those are the wicks on the daily. So the 1 minute. I guess what would be kind of nice to see is a rejection off the Asia highs. They're like, it's gonna take a lot for price to get up there. Maybe we'll get like some kind of rejection here. Price retraces, consolidates up till pre-New York, and then pre-New York into NY open starts to break above a 33.44 over there. Yeah, all good here. We had to cut the trip due to bad weather. Gonna be back next week, I guess. Go back on our fundamentals. Retail sales rebounded more than expected in June, while weekly initial jobless claims unexpectedly fell to a 3-month low, both signaling resilience in the economy despite the impacts of tariffs. Reflecting this strength, Fed Governor Adriana said it would be appropriate to keep rates steady for some time. Yes, I agree. Except, let's see. Nevertheless, hey, get out of the screen. Nevertheless, safe haven demand for gold was supported by ongoing trade uncertainties, with Trump recently announcing plans to notify over 150 trade partners of their tariff rates. Geopolitical tensions, including the escalating Russia-Ukraine conflict and unrest in the Middle East, further enhance gold's appeal as a safety asset. It's a shame we're not seeing it actually reflect in the market though. Typically, such situations like this would be looking at gold moving up bullish. But at the moment, so much uncertainty that price is not even trending. Gold edges higher on possible position adjustments. Gold edges high in the early Asia session. Well, back to the Asia highs. However, gold's price gain may be curbed by US data released overnight, which showed economic resilience. Oh, maybe curbed? Nice. Yeah, I think some sells today would be good. I feel like the sells have been really nice of late, at least this week. June retail sales data came in stronger than expected. Two members of... Okay, labor market data enforced the strength of domestic demand. Alright, nothing. Yeah, the sells have been playing out beautifully this week. But now we're no longer trending bearish as much as we were, let's say, like somewhere around here. Like the line was a little bit more slanted to the downside. This time it's it looks like if it breaks above this 33.44 area, it's not going to be too bearish anymore. That's the current Asia highs. Well, that's the psychological mark here. Maybe 33.50. 33.50 on the day. Got about 52 pips till that point. Let's see what the daily is doing here. Let's turn this off, I guess. Let's see from here. Maybe back to 33.70. That seems to be the area that we pushed. Like even last week on Friday, we said 33.70. We hit 33.70 to T. And then, which was right here on this candlestick. So maybe we're looking 33.70 again for today. Price moves up. Creates more rejections up here. Feels like it could be a bullish Freaky Friday, to be honest. Love last Friday though. Back-to-back V-shape reversals. No choppy. Yes, yeah, man. Last Friday was very clean. Very clean moves. This Friday is a bit different. How about the news for later? We don't have any news today. So we got consumer sentiment. I guess people still look at these orange folders. It's going to be at 8:10, 2 hours into the New York session. But I'm not really too focused on these. Greater than forecast is good for the currency. 60 to 61. We're expecting bullish numbers on dollar, so it should be a bearish gold. Oh, someone's TP got hit. Right here, this was 1 minute ago. The day trader. TP hit, got out with 8.5 points. That was quick. Here is the trade attached on the 1 minute chart. Oh, nice one, the day trader. TP smash, TP2 hit. Oh, you got faked out. Let's see, little accumulation break. What happened here? Oh, but you were in profit. This should have been like, if anything, a break even or something, you know? Because I think that's essentially what it did. It paid out this accumulation. You can like manage your risk. But you know, this is a higher time frame as well. This is not the 1 minute. This is a 5 minute. So it's a pretty big area. I think you could have like reduced your risk. You could have either put your stops to break even, or you could have reduced your risk by, I think, like 80%. Somewhere around below the support level right here. Once that support was formed. But yeah. That's what it did. That's what it did. It shook you out before it had the full move. That's what's been happening quite a bit on gold. It's been trying to shake people out quite a lot before it has its full extensions. We've actually covered like plenty of examples like this already this week. Guess in that's such an environment like this, you know, you're either taking more break evens, like you're looking at scalps, or if it's really that difficult to trade, maybe just don't do anything. Maybe just wait for the fake outs to first happen. But nice, I still think that was a good trade. Little point of control sell over here. It was from yesterday. 65% hit. Nice trade in pre-London. Freaky Friday. Oh, nice. Oh, that drawdown though. And then price moved up. Awesome. Yeah, this was the one that was happening shortly before we came onto stream. Shortly before London opened. To move up towards a 33.43 area there. Stops to break even. 65. Nice. Very clean. Very clean. Boom. Got like, what is this? Trend line break? Some clean range to move up there on the left hand side. Awesome. Oh, risky buy here. Because of you got some rejections. Some resistance areas over there. Alright, looks like we're going through the 4-hour wicks here. We're going to clean some of this range on the hourly. It's quite bullish. I feel like today's going to be bullish for Q Friday, chat. That's what I feel like it's going to be. Hey, trading. Good morning. I think looking from far away perspective, it's a massive consolidation of 120 pip range. When this move is going to be brutal. Oh, you mean this whole zone? Let's see, from this high, this low. Yeah, 120. Just about. Maybe that's just a fakie right here. Got resistance. Fake out below that support. And then boom. That was a fakie that Vaughn got stuck in. Otherwise, you could have caught this move. Up towards 33.44-ish area. And then price moved bullish. So you think that's a big accumulation so it can move upwards. Yesterday's price action kind of pulled up. Maybe it's even this big, like just around this whole zone. Yeah, it looks like about right. Looks like that's when the sideways started actually happening, was from these London close support levels here. London close support, and then it just created some Asia highs and kind of like respected that general zone. Shooting up, distributing. Hopefully it should have enough steam to get through these levels on the left hand side. But currently we are up on the daily 0.23%. So that's also not trending too long. I mean, that's not too trendy. 0.23%. It's not that trendy. GJ here is 0.25. Yeah, pretty much the same as gold. Oh, some beautiful GJ buys from yesterday over here. You know, sometimes it actually does this. Sometimes it creates this illusion that these are rejections, and then people like maybe pick more of a direction to the sells, and then price goes in the opposite direction. I've seen that actually happen quite a few times. It's like an illusion, because it's like, you know, people definitely looking at this as some very strong resistance. That price should just start dumping. Then it just goes in the opposite direction. So it's important to wait for the wicks to break. The key wicks on the highs or the lows. In any case. Some brutal retracements here. You see what I mean? Sometimes the market knows where it wants to go, but it's going to make it quite difficult to get there. So you got like resistance up here. And you got like a really nice range from this point. Got a little inverted head and shoulders there as well. But price came and tested these buyers here. After breaking, it kind of like tested them. You know, it didn't really take out the full structure. You see the full structure here is still safe. But it took out some kind of tighter stop losses over here. And once it's done taking those areas out, then it has like these kind of pushes. Starts giving this kind of pushes. But it still didn't do it all at once. You know, it's still kind of like it filled up the range. And it filled it up in this kind of like trickling, making it kind of difficult way to catch the move. That was towards London close. London closure. See a break right here. Look at this range. 7.3 pips. 11.3 pips stop. Oh, I think go. Oh, exactly. Yes, this is what I wanted to see. 200. Look at this. We're heading up towards that psychological mark from yesterday that we're talking about. We got 200 here. Finally, GJ is breaking out of this massive accumulation. So Rico, you're talking about this range, then it should be like a big move. Now imagine this range on GJ. This range we came in here since August 2024. Create a support, and we've just been raging since then. Now imagine the kind of breakout we're expecting above 200 level over here. You know, I think GJ is ready for some new price action to leave this entire zone right here. This entire zone was a zone where I slowly stopped trading GJ, and then I completely stopped. For some reason, that zone right there was just a horrible zone. But now we're breaking 200. Nice to see. We struggled here for a bit. If you look at GJ on the daily, look at the daily candles here. We struggled right below 200. 200 for a bit. I think on a Freaky Friday here, we can end off the week above 200. That's going to be nice. And maybe gold at 33.70. Waiting to see that hour candle close above Asia highs. How much time we got? 31 minutes. If GJ creates a buy setup above 85 area, then on a negative correlation, gold is likely to go south. I'm looking for a retest on GJ before I pull the trigger. Range is super wide and clean. Oh, this range. Yeah. I guess you got your some resistance here. Waiting for Bryce to break above, tap above 200, maybe come back down and then continue moving up. Could be a nice shot. I do imagine this is gonna be like a magnet here for price. Oh man, that range there is on the daily though. So we don't really have any near-term ranges to move upwards. That was a daily range. We don't have any near-term lower time frame ranges to move up. Maybe if it comes down, create something. Oh, nice. Finally tapped into the red line there. 33.46. No. That's what I'm actually expecting here. Asia reversal. Let's see what our currency strength meter here is saying. Weak dollar, bullish gold. Makes sense, makes sense. Weak yen and bullish GJ. I mean pound. All right. Let me ask Zoli, should I take a trade today? On Friday? It's loading. All right, so first time I went left, right. Let me go middle now. Falling Luna. Yet the page of currencies glimmers with hope and insight. Encourage you to research wisely. If you must trade, do so with caution and informed intention. Doesn't really help. That does not really help me. Oh, this kind of looks sick. It's got this 3D effect. It reminds me of those cards back in the day where you had like the those 3D effect cards. Like turn around and you could see. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now breaking Asia highs and yeah, creating new higher high here on London Open. Not really looking at it. Nothing really is too appetizing right now. It's not enough structure. It's just playing some distribution from this break here at 3340-ish, 3340 area. I wish price was trending. You know, if price was trending on the daily, that would have been nice to sell. It would have been a nice sell here. That would have been a beautiful sell. I mean, it's somewhat a bearish. It's been somewhat bearish this whole week. So this was Monday right here. So from Monday, it's more moving downwards. And then we had Trump like throughout the whole week. So imagine this, like Monday right here, you got Friday here, and you got Trump right in the middle. You got Trump right in the middle here. But for the most part, price is coming down. Had this abnormal spike. And then correction. You know, they think firing Powell might even have the opposite effect on the market, that they could be raising the interest rates if they fire Powell instead. That'll be wild. Gold sellers coming today. I love to see some gold sells. I think there's a small little fake out that happened here on the 1 minute. Little break below support. Break below support, ripping back up. Long ass wick here on the 5 minute. Freaky Friday. What are we gonna do for Freaky Friday? What's going to happen here today? We have not yet had anything happen on this Freaky Friday. Last Freaky Friday, we had so many setups. We're just playing back to back. No liquidity grabs, no sharks, just clean moves. I think there were like 4 setups which happened all in the same range. 4 swing entries, just going back to back to back. This Freaky Friday? Nothing. There's nothing here. Except maybe a sell. It could be a sell so far. If this is below support, we got like 56 pips below this area. Right there. See how that hourly is closing? Got about 24 minutes. Be like a short-term sell. Daily still 0.25. I think we're going to take out 33.56. This is NY high from 2 days ago. Is that 33.56? Oh, 33 from 2 days ago. 33.56. I mean, the high on gold would be up here though. This would be, I guess this would be the high. 33.77. That's when Trump came in and spoke. These are just other resistance levels that happened during the New York session. 33.56. This was more towards market close. Well, I guess this would be the main high from 2 days ago. And it's a pretty wide range to fill. I'm gonna push up here like 300 more pips. See on the daily, which is possible. I'm expecting 33.70. Around 33.70. Maybe the daily can close here. But it could very well come up towards like 33.77 too. This is well within range. You know, if you have a weapon and you know how far the bullet can stretch, this is like definitely within range for gold. And if you take yesterday's candle. Yesterday's candle did like what, 430 pips? It's pretty close. So yeah, we might see just a bullish move. Nice bullish distribution, breaking above resistance here. The price action is getting kind of parabolic though. You can see with this little extension right here. Is it stress-free? Been in long since 33.39. Yeah, there you go. Stress-free. Break even. Break even trade. I'm gonna take one more trade. Currently on a little streak here. Got a 5 streak. One more trade. Maybe I can end this week here at 30%. That'll be nice. I don't know if I can break a record. My record so far this year, March, has been 34. I think I could break it. Let's see how many trades I did in March. I think I've been a little bit more aggressive this month though. That's 41 pips. I mean 41 trades. July I've been taking 35 trades. Yeah, been more aggressive. Been more aggressive this month. Hey, that's gonna be a record for me. I haven't done that in a while. Only time I used to do crazy numbers like that when I was still trying to scale my account. So I think it's gonna be pretty nice here. One more trade to end off the week. Maybe two. Yeah, this thing's still ripping. That's a breaky. The breaky from this whole zone right here. The accumulation breakout. Man, it's such a nice distribution right here. Such a nice distribution. No major pullbacks. I think that was just the main fake out that happened below the support. And then started ripping back up. Beautiful, beautiful. See if there's any 1 minute entries. No, not really. Yeah, not really. Kind of difficult PA to trade there. Am I in? Nope. I'm not in. Look at how the candles are pushing here though. Barely a bottom wick on these two fives.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Oh, Freaky Friday coming into effect. We're up now 0.33%. Houston, we have liftoff. Yep, there it goes. There's that free. Oh my days. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. What the hell is this thing? What the hell is this thing here? Look at how it's just moving up like this. Like a straight line. You know, when a rocket is flying out of atmosphere, it doesn't pause, you know, it keeps going with momentum. Breaking levels. Just like in life. You know, in life when you're trying to break certain levels, you gotta go with momentum like this. You don't stop. You don't pause in the middle. Just keep going. Damn, look at that. Yeah, that started to look like a Freaky Friday a bit more. All that emotion inside that candle. Yeah, imagine the people trying to sell this and price is just moving up there. Got a little down. Oh, please keep going up. I feel like I should have held it. I sold it. Yeah, I should have hold it. Shoulda, coulda, hold it. Shoulda, coulda, hold it. A lot of these moves have been happening like this, where I always see it go through, and I'm like, damn, I should have hold that move. Should have hold that move. Actually, let me see. Most of the trades, it does end up pushing quite a bit more. Look at this. Actually, these are the trades that, look at this. It just keeps pushing here. They usually just keep pushing there. Always feel like I should have hold him. That's when it hits like, you know, 16 pips. When it hits 16 pips, at least it seems to be pushing up a lot more significantly. I think this one reversed at 16. What about just trailing your stop where you would have closed? I mean, you know, 2% is already pretty damn good. That's the thing, because I don't trade based off risk to reward. I trade based off percentage. So when it hits that 16, it's already like 2%. It should be as close to 2% as possible. So yeah, I guess I'll be like very greedy. I'll be very greedy, but still really nice. If I did actually end up getting one, just put a stop to break even there by 16 instead. Just let it run. But I usually do it. I usually do that only when I need the boost though. So you can see here, this was in this. So the last time I did this was on Tuesday this week. So whenever I just need like a boost, then I typically do that. See, that was 3.87. 3.87. 3% right over here. That's like if I feel that I need to, like I feel like sometimes, you know, the equity curve moves something like this, and then you get to some points where it's like stagnates, or it just maybe comes down a bit or something like that, or it's just stagnating. Then you just need the breakout. So it's like getting that breakout, equivalent to a breakout, so it could keep moving. I realize that consolidation setup is having good win rate. There is in the market condition though. Yes. And when you hold it reverses. Yeah, you can watch like 10 of those trades play out. Then the moment that you decide to hold, it reverses. Remember, drink more water, chap. 2% bullish on the day? That'll be wild. That's if Trump says something. Gotta go on Trump's roll call here and see what he's saying. Alright, let's check out his schedule here today. The 18th. In-town pool, Oval Office, East Room, President, pre-candidential, alright, nothing. State dining room. Looks like a chill day for Trump. The president participates in a swearing-in ceremony for the commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service. President participates in a signing ceremony. President participates in a dinner with Republican senators. The Senate. Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like Trump is going to be speaking today. This thing is still pumping up though. Try forward testing it in your mind to see difference in performance. Speaking for myself, it helped my trading just be aggressive with it. If it closes you out, that's fine because you would have committed to exit there anyway. Yeah, I think it's good to forward test for sure. I mean, you're gonna see it happen over and over again, and eventually you're gonna start holding the trade. You know, that's the idea. That's the idea. So we've been seeing it happen over and over again. And that's low-key what I've been doing though. Like on the days that I need to get a booster, I feel more confident in holding my trade because I've low-key noticing the pushes. You know, because I take the before and after pictures. So I do see the pushes. So yeah, it definitely does make me feel comfortable, like in case I get stuck, you know. I think it's really nice to have that data. But wow, Goldie is not giving no structure. You gotta wait. In a situation like this, you don't want to chase the market. If you want to get like in a buy, wait for price to retrace first. No, because this thing is already moved. It's already moving here. Possibly heading up towards like 33.70, I think. It's not that far off. What we say, 300 pips before? It's like 221 now. Yeah, now this becomes a waiting game here. We got like 10 minutes, 30 seconds for hourly candlestick here to close. We're just at like some kind of hourly resistance point. Just tapped into it. It's still got a lot of work to do. You know, this is not... This whole zone is going to be quite... Like, okay, it can move up, but on the daily for sure, this is definitely like some kind of rejection area once we start popping into these zones. So let's go back on the LTF. That's a daily resistance. Let's say the 1 hour. Yeah, I guess once we start to come up towards like this hourly resistance area here. But anyway, I'm gonna wait and see what happens. That's a lot of speculation, you know. Like, it's much harder to speculate on the market on a larger time frame than it is like for obviously for like a shorter duration. A shorter duration is a little bit more achievable than a larger time frame. Just tapped into hourly resistance there though. Might re-break these lows. Have a bit of a range to fill, like 21 pips. $21 savage. Just woke up. Did I miss anything important, or should I just crawl back into bed? Well, you know, it's Freaky Friday here, so price is already moving up like this. We're just trying to see what's gonna, you know, I think right now it's just distributing. It's distributing from this zone right here. Crawl back into bed. Yeah, look at this. It's just distributing here. It's distributing here. I think people looking for buys just wait for some kind of retracement. My computer just got back up. Was not working. Hey, what's up, Batman? What's good, Batman? I feel like it will come down as the 1 hour resistance and RSI overbought in the 15 and 5. Yeah, it could be. It could be, you know, price is moving up here, so it's been parabolic for quite some time. I imagine that RSI is saying overbought. What's up, Dominator X? Nice to see you in the chat. That's a new name. Let's see, you have to go up to higher time frames to catch them, but execute on the lower. Oh, you mean the bumper clap moves? The bumper clap moves you can catch on the 5-minute time frame. You know, like if you watch this video, if you rewatch this video, I talk about why this can be a bumper clap move. I talk about why this could be a bumper clap move because you still had so much range. You know, this is just where I was securing because, you know, I'm not greedy. But the range here was this much, you know. So I guess, yeah, the higher time frames do help. We did also mention on the HTF that the overall direction was moving downwards as well. So yeah, I guess the higher time frames do help. But you know, at the same time, there was a buy here. I was on the chart during this time, but there was a buy set up here in line with this 5-minute fake out. You see this massive wick? There was actually accumulation breakout entry over here. And the idea behind leaving this as a runner would just be the same on the lower time frame, because if prices are breaking above this high, then it has this range here to fill up. You know, and you know, it pretty much filled that range. Nice little tight stop loss here. Break, distribution. But definitely the sells held more weight because the daily was moving down. That's for sure. Because the daily was already moving down. So I think when it lines up with the daily direction, it's really nice. And then you get these clean ranges on the lower time frames. It plays out beautifully. Even knowing all this, I still closed out at 1.7%, which is not bad. This is beautiful. This position here just kept moving up. Saw the Freaky Friday buy there. Like the 1 minute might start accumulating here for a bit. Still quite risky to sell. It's not breaking any like key levels of support yet. Still got like 33.47 there. Got some resistance by 33.50. This NAS 100 all-time highs. Like literally NAS creating all-time highs daily. Up here by 23,000. 23,170. Well, I say 23,200. That was a dip in the stock market that Trump created. Right here. So Warren Buffett's exits. Man's a legend. I'm sure he got back in down here. Warren Buffett's exits. And stock market crashed, creating opportunities. People rebought stocks, obviously. Price is just going to keep moving up there. I want to see GJ break 200 today. It's the main thing I'm looking for. See, gold futures on track. This gold futures on track for a weekly loss on stronger economic data. So yeah, I think jobs data pretty much came out good this week. See, next week, what do we got? Next week we have Powell speaking 8:30. Wow, on Tuesday Powell's gonna be speaking. We got orange folder here, but he's gonna be speaking during the New York session. Got unemployed. Wow, we actually got quite a few red folders on Thursday next week. Flash manufacturing for the pound. Flash manufacturing US dollar. A few euro red folders. Friday retail sales for the pound. But I think like the most important thing for me is this Powell speaking on Tuesday, because that could set a nice tone for the week up ahead. Yeah, I think like gold can maybe, depending on what he says, we can get some trending volume coming in, sipping into like Wednesday, Thursday. It's gonna be more important for me what he says. He's gonna speak on the recent jobs data that came out. There you go, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Not bad, not bad. I think next week could be a good week. See what the last week is looking like. Jobs openings. Oh, right. Then we got ADP and NFP. The first month I've seen now that has NFP twice in 1 month. So you already had NFP in the beginning of the month, and we're going to have NFP, you know, basically at the end of the month here. That's going to be coming in on Friday, last week of this month. Yep, coming up to 33.50. Price is still pushing up here. Definitely want to see a lot more structure before this starts to... If you think this is going to roll over, definitely want to see more structure. What is this? Oh, you created an indicator that predicts if price moves fast enough. I can see here price is oversold or overbought. So helps you see how price... support zones. Think you took a trade on Friday? No, not yet. Still sitting on my hands here. GJ is okay. Yeah, GJ needs to... I feel like GJ is kind of sticky situation here. Like, it needs to break below... It's creating a head and shoulders. That's head and shoulder distribution right there. That's the only thing that kind of looks nice. Yeah, head and shoulders distribution. But you got to support down below. Like on the 5 minute, you got this wick. Right here by 199.700. Got a decent range here, about like 10 pips. But yeah, nothing too interesting. Nothing too interesting though on GJ. Nothing too interesting on gold. Because gold is in a distribution phase right now. It's like, it's more paying people out than setting anything up. Oh, I told you, man. I told you, this Nightbot here is coming for the crown. Look at this. Nightbot here has a crown. Let's go, Nightbot. Number 1 on the leaderboard. Yeah, Joshua should see this. I told Joshua to watch out for this thing. To watch out for Nightbot. Didn't listen to me, man. See, I tell you, AI is going to take over. AI can be 100% efficient. So it's going to hold the crown when Joshua's not around. Look at this thing. It's going wild right now. Posting so many links. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Like, GJ's created resistance here. It's created support. Maybe it just starts to consolidate. Let's look at something else. Let's see what a German 40 there is doing. The German 40. On the daily, first of all. First and foremost, we must see where the instrument is lying. It's at all-time highs here by, was that like heading towards like 25,000 euros. Sheesh, man. German 40 has just been trending quite a lot. Massive little fake out situation that happened here. Massive wick pulling liquidity, putting orders and then still moving upwards. See how the London Open spiked upwards. But yeah, German 40 definitely is quite a volatile pair, I have to say. This is really volatile. Nothing too interesting on the PA though. But what's your plan for XAUSD? Just waiting. My plan is waiting. You know, waiting's part of trading too. Always thought it was hard to get the crown. Just gotta post more. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do is show up. Say most of the work is in showing up. At least you're there. Then you stop putting in the work. Technically, based on volume, there's only one big liquidity zone left above. Around $4 to $5 above current price. After that, we could see a drop. We could see a drop. Definitely. I'm sure sellers are waiting for these retracements here. Like, imagine, you know, people see something like, you know, the thing is, like, people see this and they don't want to take a buy because they've missed the move. Just because they've missed the move, they don't want to take a buy. So, you know, now they're going to be looking for sells. So price is still waiting, you know, we're still gearing up for those sells. Going to buy BTC now, you think? Gotta bounce off your line? Oh, it's coming in. Coming in hot. Little falling knife here. GJ's messy zone between 85 and 70. So keeping an eye out for this one still. Yeah, GJ, I'm not even looking at GJ. Like, all I want to see GJ do is at least break 200 today. That's all that I want to see GJ do. If it can achieve that, yeah, I think that's pretty nice. But you see now it's starting to break below support here by not 199.770. And maybe it fills this range down towards 199.600. Gold is crazy parabolic. See, the hourly should be open now. New hourly open. Close above resistance. Pretty nice. Close above resistance. Create hourly lows, rebreaking the highs. That'll be the next high here by 33.54. That's what price would be looking at to fill. Like, sellers should be coming in at any time though. Some kind of retracement. This could be it right here. Daily is up 0.37%. I think the seller is going to come in if we can at least break below these wick lows. Because it's like accumulating here a bit. If we can break below 33.48. Get some volume coming in from that accumulation. Little distribute to the downside. So I reckon still kind of risky, you know, going against a bullish momentum. I'll take a consolidation breakout if this was like, let's say if the daily was up like, let's say 0.50%, and we had already retraced downwards and created like some opportunity to move up within a kind of valley, you know, a valley like this. But it's more tricky when price is just moving up like that than if it actually just sets up, corrects, sets up for the continuation. So yeah, that's why I'm just kind of like watching right now. Sitting on my hands. The USD index is showing oversold signals across multiple timeframes. Could see it push up right as futures hits the liquidity zone. Ooh, you see, Ricardo, you have to put it 5 pips or something. It's too accurate. I used to trade like this. One thing that one of my mentors used to do was he used to scale into the position. So you'd have the ultimate zone like this, correct? But as price is coming in, you'd scale in like smaller lots. But you know, I think your style is a bit different. You're trying to really catch like a quick you know, because like the way he was doing it was like more of like a swing trade as well. So you'd already scale in like this, but it's a kind of like a swing trade. But most of the time I see your entries could be like right here and your exit could be like right here, for example. Yeah, whereas his could be like scaling in like this and then still have that go into profits like that. So it's a bit different. So I think what you got to do is like just move this line. You know, market's not perfect. So you should not also have such a perfect zone. Silver also closed. PDC, look at how close that was. Explorers, hello. Gold no trade today. I jump GJ. You jump GJ. GJ, no volume. So low volume here on GJ. This is no trade zone. No trade zone. And maybe a sell below support here. 199.750-ish. Maybe a sell. Daily is up 0.20%. Not that much. Candlestick close below this level. Then maybe you can expect that when the next candlestick open, it re-breaks the previous lows and then continues to move down like this. You know, then maybe like price then will just hold this range, consolidate, and consolidates here like this. Consolidates a break above 200 psychological mark. You see, we're at a pretty important area. So as we're approaching this area, market's going to be trying to set up. If it wants to break above that zone, it's going to accumulate orders here and then build enough steam or momentum that it can break above 200. I think that's what GG is going to do. One of those two options. But it's nothing that stands out, you know. So sometimes you're gonna have these trades which are gonna come onto the chart and you just know that's a trade. You're like, oh, this is a trade that's coming right now. You know those types of trades? Those are the best trades. Those are the best trades. Sometimes I come onto the chart and I immediately see what's about to happen. Those are the best trades. Because it means like there's been a good amount of waiting that's already been done. It's 90% waiting. And you just so happen to come at that time when the move is set up and ready to go. But you see, when you're just sitting on the chart like this, sometimes you're going to force yourself to take a trade. Because you feel like, oh man, you've been waiting here. Been waiting here for so long that you want to take a trade. You know, you force yourself to start to see setups in the market. And that's why they say, if you like a salary, then don't become a trader. Because trading, you have to really be okay with, you know, like sometimes even having break-even months, like just generally speaking, you have to be okay with like waiting and maybe not even taking a trade on that day. Because, you know, with a salary, you get paid on the day. You know, you get paid like per the hour, for example, right? In trading, you don't get paid by the hour. You get paid to wait. So if you see something good, then, you know, that's going to be an opportunity for you to take that trade. But if you don't see anything good, then you just got to sit on your hands. Like right now, what would be tempting to do, because I've been sitting here, would be to take a sell. I'll be very tempted to take a sell here and possibly get that retracement. But that's only because I've been sitting here. But if I was not paying attention to the chart, yeah, this would be much more easier for me to just keep waiting. And that's why actually, you know, sometimes simulations are so easy or much easier. No, I wouldn't say so easy. They're still difficult to do, but they're at least easier to be patient, because you're going to see something like that on a simulation and you're just going to go next. You're just going to click the next candlesticks, correct? That's what you do. You got the patience on a simulation because you can manipulate time. But in real life, you can't manipulate time. But on a simulator, you do your backtesting. You're finding really good results on your backtesting is because you're more patient. You can sit on your hands longer. You know, like right here, we could just go next. Maybe get like a setup here and then take the buy, for example. Yeah, let's see here. 1 minute time frame, little accumulation nation. Some people have geographical disadvantage that London open. Oh, finds them asleep. Yes. Yeah, some people have geographical disadvantages. That's true. So they're gonna be asleep. But you know, you can make any session work for you. People trade the New York session, still profitable. There's still some really nice moves that happen in NY too. It's just you got to be more cautious during NY time. They got a bunch of red folders. Trump might say something. Right now, those people with the geographical disadvantages, they're all asleep over there. So, you know, Trump is not going to be saying anything at 4 a.m. in the morning. I want to know, what will you do if you have a losing trade? Do you have some thoughts to revenge trade? Yeah, you know, sometimes I got some revenge trade thoughts. I think it depends on how bad the losing trade was. Like, if it was not so bad, then I maybe take another trade. I look for a chance to take another trade. But if it was really bad, then I think the best thing is just call it a day. Your trading account and your psychology for the day is gonna thank you for that. But in the moment you feel like very emotional, you know, and you know, emotions, they don't work well with when you're dealing with money. You see people who go to the casino, like those emotional gamblers, why do they always lose money? Because they're emotional. The super emotional ones always lose the worst. They'll always get the worst burns. So you just kind of have to catch yourself when you're getting emotional and say, no, I'm not going to succumb to my human wiring, the way my brain is wired. I'm going to control this. Because, you know, the thing is, if you can't control your mind, you can't control anything. Your heart could stop beating right now. You know, like anything can happen to you. The only thing you can control is your mind, your perspective towards things, perspective towards life. So if you want to achieve things in life and you can't even control your mind, then you know that becomes very dangerous. You are only your worst enemy, nobody else. Nobody can make you fail but you. You know, even when you're losing, you always have to think positively about a situation that you're in. You know, so whenever I take a loss, what I also do is I come onto my journal here when I'm recording my loss, I say that was an awesome trade. So I'll do this and then I'll just say something like, you know, that was an awesome trade. You know, then I'll put here, like, let's say, even if it's like negative 1.7, right? I'd say that was an awesome trade. To you, it sounds crazy. To me, that's what works. You gotta be a little bit delusional. You gotta trick your mind a little there. And you know, that helps you when you speak it. It helps you kind of like mitigate that emotion. You gotta speak it into the universe. There are days that the strategies is not good for the market moment. That's my crazy knife catching strategies will be killed on a macro driven market. Yes, definitely. You know, that's a problem with the robots. Robots, they don't know the difference. Like if something happens and the market's moving down, they don't know the difference. So they'll just keep executing based on the coding. And then that becomes a problem. That's when robots typically blow accounts. So even like robots at an institutional level, they also still have to manage those robots. You know, they have to like monitor them to make sure that something like that doesn't happen. Why don't we have a voice channel in Discord for everyone to discuss and share ideas? Would be way more dynamic and helpful. We do have a voice channel. It's down over here. You gotta have level 5 credentials. But you know, I think level 5 credentials, everybody should have level 5 credentials. Look at this. Level 5 credentials here. If you're verified, which is if you're already in the Discord, you should be able to access this. See, then you can come on here. Look, I'm inside. Hello, hello. Anybody here? Anybody here? Yeah, so we do got a level 5 here. Oh, you see? Pure peaks in here. Pure peaks in here. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? See the microphone. I think you should have access there. And you can only get about, what is it, like 20 people in here? Yeah, like 20 people in here. Then we got the war room. In the war room, we can have 99 people in there. I still haven't made use of the war room yet. I'm there with you. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if it should be good. It should be able to work here. I don't know if y'all can actually share a chart though. Try it, Pure Peak. Try share your screen. Or do we need like a moderator here? Watch stream? Yeah, okay. So we got a stream here. Oh, nice. Look at this. I can see your screen. Yeah, we got you. I don't know if it's just me, but I can't hear anything. Wow, you see, you can do it. You can do it. If you got any problems with it, just come over here to submit suggestions. You see, now I can even just watch you do your thing over here. If you got any problems, just come to submit suggestion and you can leave a suggestion like this. And then I'll be able to see the suggestion. You know, like people can vote on it as well. If you want to get any upgrades over there. So yeah, we're looking at what? Some sells at this red line. Gold zone, buy or sell. Wait, I think let me go on the settings here. Verified. Let's see if y'all can actually... Yeah, okay. So we got connect, speak, video, use soundboard, external sounds. Yeah, I think that should be good. Allows members to talk. All right, perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, we got a lot of people in here now. Oh, yeah, now I can hear something. Now I could hear something. But it was very low. Okay, now I'm just hearing myself. Hey, hey, hey. Looking for longs at 33.44. 33.44. So it's kind of correcting a small little range here. Small little retracement. I would like to see if price could dip further in. We get like more of a dip in and then maybe then price can move up. Yeah, exactly. I got rickrolled. I had to dip out of there real quick. Or YouTube starts copywriting me. GJ is still hovering here by support region 199.760. I would love to see gold come down like that, bounce up and then continue to move up bullish. Was that retested the zone, but I don't like. I really need to be in that candle. But this is the second time that's happened though. The first one, it came close, had the push, retested, still hit it, and then had the push. My second trade will be on pre-NY or NY since London a little bit too weird. I think London's just about ready to have some kind of retracements. It's created a new lower low here. I think London's been good today. Been worse off most of the week. So far, what I've noticed in London for sure is there hasn't been too much manipulation. Since London opened here, obviously, we've just been moving up. That'd be a nice little fake out. If we can get a fake out confluence, I think that would look nice for a bullish continuation there. But I want to see a little fakey, like price to come down like this, and then for the next candlestick to open up like this. And then re-break these highs to continue moving up bullish. And kind of like squeeze these sellers over here as we continue with the daily trend. Currently up 0.26%. So yeah, that would be the price action I'll be looking for. I think that would be pretty nice PA. It's now 2 a.m. in here in Edmonton. I wake up 1 every day. Oh, that's quite early there, Omar. Nice. I am not a morning person. That's what I can say. I gotta at least get a few hours in of sleep if I'm gonna wake up early. At least like 7 hours. So I was hoping to get a little bit of structure, but you see, this is just not good. This is this like maybe gives a V-shaped reversal there. It would be really nice to get a little fakey situation below here and get a buy. Anything I'm looking for now is definitely like a buy. I didn't know which button to use to talk. Turns out I didn't have push to talk set up. But it does work, right? Like you can actually speak in there. I don't know if you need to push to talk. The future GTA 6 voice chat. We got the GTA 6 channel here, but yeah, for sure we gotta have the future GTA 6. Instead of calling this the war room, let's call this GTA 6. This will be the one we got a 99 members. This will be the GTA 6 Discord right over here. It's gonna be madness, pure madness in there. So y'all must send in all your loot. You gotta do some business on here on the channel, GTA 6 channel. You gotta do some trades and then game live like this and take over the GTA 6 world when it comes out. That's usually like whenever I game with my friends, we're on Discord. We talk on Discord and then we just play the game. I think Discord is much more, it's more comfortable. It's a lot more clearer as well, like the audio. Crispy clear. Saving money for PS5 Pro. You know, I tried getting into PC gaming, but I think there's just something about consoles that I kind of do enjoy a little bit more. But PC gaming does make it a lot easier to get all the games that you want, and it's a lot more flexible and all that stuff. And just something about console gaming that I really enjoy. Let's have PC gaming have all the bells and whistles, best graphics. Xbox app on PC sounds like a washing machine. Do the PS5s have a fanless design? They should go the Apple route and remove the fans if possible. But I think on gaming devices, you can't really remove the fans because they kind of heat up too much. But I do like the new like Apple computers. They like fanless, pretty cool. See, this was the range that I was looking at here, but now this range has been completely corrected. So it would have been really nice to get like some kind of a fake out here and then get into a buy. But it looks like yeah, it looks like that's not happening. Yeah, it's true. PC is more expensive too if you're trying to play AAA games at 4K. Exactly. That's why PC gaming is so much better than console, because like PCs, man, they're costing so much more than a console does. So for the price that you pay for a console, you know it's pretty nice, like what it's capable of. Because the PC, you're gonna pay double than that. A lot more than that. Because if you upgrade like expensive GPU, then you gotta upgrade literally everything else. You gotta upgrade your PCU. Usually depending on what level you're coming from, if it's like a beginner spec, then you gotta upgrade your PSU. You're gonna upgrade your motherboard potentially. Man, there's a lot. You gotta think about cooling as well. Maybe you're gonna need some cooling. So it racks up. It really does get expensive. So you're not just upgrading one thing. You gotta change everything, depending on where you're coming from. I got more of like a productive and gaming build because I don't really game too much. But it can run pretty nicely though. Yeah, this is a moment that I think price can start to consolidate. Because, you know, we create like a support over here and we have resistance. And there was just this one buy opportunity here. But I think the only thing that played out was maybe on the 1 minute time frame. Like a break above these highs. Stops below here of some sort. But yeah, on the 5 minute, I don't know. I would be surprised to see this thing just accumulate. Alright, so we got GJ trying to break below as well. Got a nice little beautiful kiss of death over here. Got actually, what is this? That was almost a shotgun play, but this candlestick closed right on the line, or maybe like slightly below. Now it closed right on the line here, 199.771. Otherwise, that could have been like a potential like shotgun kind of entry over there to fill this range. Nice little head and shoulders in there too. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So instead of bouncing from here to move upwards, notice it also did not break these wick highs. Instead, it broke the lows. Like it started closing, this candlestick started closing or try to close below these lows. Next candlestick, rebroke the lows, the wick lows, and then started pushing down again. But that was the only thing on GJ, you know, like this is gonna be like a no trade zone here, and then maybe a potential sell. That was the only zones I was actually looking at on GJ. Whereas gold now is becoming like, this is also now becoming a no trade zone. No trade zone. Let's see, what's new, trading view. L-Bank brings perpetual future pairs to trading view. Can I use that? What is this? Get deeper insights at a glance with a new summary info table for your TPO chart. Customize up to 13 key values and keep them at hand. Do better streamline your analysis. What is this? You know, the thing about TradingView, it gives you so many features, but it also at the same time gives you those same tools that lead to analysis paralysis. So it's going to give you literally everything, but it sometimes works against you. So it looks like it's helping you the more that you're learning, but the more that you learn is the more that you actually, you know, you start to have analysis paralysis and you're going to lose more money. You think you're learning more, so you're going to make more, but you're actually going to lose more because now you're overcomplicating, you're seeing too many options. Too many strategies in the mix. Wow, look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. GJ actually moving quite nicely there. Man, this is the GJ that I love. You know, when GJ opens up like this, it's such a nice pair. When it's just more open and you see these like open spaces. These are like perfect shotgun entry environments because you can get really decent stop losses on here as well. So if this was valid, pretty much like 8.1 pips stop loss, little shotgun entry to the downside. But it didn't close. Let me get that shotgun entry thing here. Where is it? Shotgun play. Gbpjpy, JPY. Let me see. So we had a support. Oh, what do we do? But I probably didn't validate this because we closed right at the support level. So you got sell below. Here you got your sell target right over here. There's no buys above. Gotta put that at 0. Let's see. Boom. Prepare for sell. Oh, did it actually close? Damn. Why can I not go on this next candle here? Oh, you see, it didn't close. If it closed, then that would have triggered the short position. But it didn't close. It didn't close at support. So we can try put it like this. So let's say it was right here. Change this, sell below this level. Yeah, then it would be triggered. Let's say prepare for sell. Boom. Entry. See, now in a sell. Now it tells you that your stop loss right here. Really nice stop loss. That stop loss is about a SL range. That's about 7.9 pips. Profit range is about 13.6 pips down towards a 199.607. You got managed risk here. If candlestick starts to pull up like this towards that level, because you see, best trades don't really give you those pullbacks. It's not like a strong pullback, so it's like a perfect level right over there. That's calculated using the fib retracements too. And then you got TP1. So TP1's been hit. Stop loss to break even. Let's see. And then it's still playing out there. It's currently still in play right now. But yeah, that's a shotgun indicator basically. So it does all the heavy lifting for you. You know, so you don't have to calculate this. You don't have to zoom into these levels and see if like candlestick actually closed below a level that you're looking for a shotgun entry. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I'm waiting for market environments to go back to that general type of volume that I can be using that thing. It's just the thing as gold right now, you're getting pretty massive candles. So probabilities you get stop losses within the range are much lower, but you know, you can always adjust it anyway. You can adjust the amount of the SL limit here in ticks. I currently have mine at 16.5 pips. Whenever I'm scalping, I like to have a maximum stop loss of around 16.5 pips. Yeah, so this thing is still in play right here. DJ is breaking out of that 70 to 85 zone I mentioned before. If we get sell setups, range is clean too. It's pretty much filled the range here. So just, you see, like right to 65. You see, everything is measured out. I like having everything measured out. So you see right at 65, that's when I tend to see reactions in the market. See, right at 65 here, now we're getting like a rejection. So that just means most of the range here has been filled up right to the T. This like I might even come. Let's see if it can respect this area here, because once it hits this zone, it should say BE right there. See, you got WTB, which is wick to break, because sometimes, you know, this candles that can close like, let's say this candle could have closed like this and had such a tiny wick that you would not even recognize that wick. So, you know, this is just to confirm that there's actually gonna be a wick over there. So you see that says true. It's a nice tool because, you know, it's very customizable. You can pretty much change a lot of the things here. You can add in spreads if you want. Entry gap, if you're waiting for a certain gap amount of, like if you're waiting for a certain amount of push, so you can see or confirm the momentum with the wick break. A certain push through this level, you can adjust that to your TP1, break even, your breathing room. That's your risk management. Yeah, a bunch of stuff in there. See, our price is coming down. Holy. This candlestick, what, just melted here 10 pips. Sheesh. Beautiful. Yep, and just as suspected, you know, gold is just going to range here. It's just going to range in between resistance and support. Just like we expected. I want to see something get triggered here. I want to see the full TP. Full TP should also say hit right here if it hits that level. And we're gonna set like some alerts. Gonna send another alert over here. Dun, 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 dun. $33.48. Yeah, it's pretty valid. Got gold prices here. So currently at $33.48. Gold's up on the day plus 0.28%. Still moving up there. Dun, dun, dun. GJ hasn't had any sort of fundamentals of late. Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey. This is a couple of days ago. It's a flash news. China needs to explain how it will tackle its persistently weak domestic consumption. Well, whenever you see this lightning bolt here, you gotta pay attention because this is gonna be volume coming into the market. I remain to be convinced that creating a central bank currency is better than putting digital tech into payments and bank accounts. Oh, I remain to be convinced that creating a central bank currency is better. Yeah, because you know, like the UK is one of the first countries to, oh, they're speaking about adopting their own kind of like digital currency. I think when that rolls out, I think UK is gonna be the first country to have something similar like to Bitcoin. I remember reading about this. So we still got Bank of England's Bailey over here say that he's still convinced to using the central bank currency is better than putting digital tech into payments and bank accounts. But I think the UK will be the first one to do so. Then they're gonna start regulating stuff like Bitcoin as well. Gonna have more regulations on Bitcoin. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, JJ's so close. It just filled up the range completely here. I think what this pullback here was basically just trying to get people out of the market. When it pulled back towards like these wicks. And then before it had the continuation. Can we see 199,607, GJ? 199,607? Can we see 199,607? Yeah, 199,607's been hit. Look at this. Then it says full TP has been smashed. TP1, break even. Full TP, range has been corrected. From point A down towards point B over there. So now on the next candle, when the next 5-minute candle opens, this thing should reset basically. And then you gotta find the next range to mark out. So it's pretty nice. It's kind of like a really nice mechanical, a way of making your trading a bit more mechanical. I'm waiting for retest on GJ for sells. Retest where, sir? This thing is already distributed so far. If it comes all the way back over here, I don't think that's going to be a retest. I think that's just going to be maybe a continuation up there because it's already filled the range. Where would the retest be? Unless you're waiting for a retest below 199,607 as it breaks below that next support zone. Yeah, well, that's very clean. They're very clean action there on GJ. Nice, beautiful little head and shoulders as well. Left shoulder head, that was right shoulder volume to fill this range. Break of the lows, pretty nice, pretty nice. Those are the only things that we saw. That was the only trade that we saw was below support here. And then maybe some buys would have been nice if candlestick was to re-break these highs by 199,820-ish area over here. Then, you know, price can maybe try make a run for 200 psychological mark. But you see, we didn't break the highs. We'd rather just came down here. Got 1 minute. Honestly, this thing disappears. It's going to disappear in like about a minute. Refresh the chart and let's say waiting for entry. Do. Sheesh. That's a lot of volume from pound yen. Taking GJ? No, I'm just paper trading this. Hey, Mr. Woods, look at who oh my days, how do you already have the throne? You've already dethroned the Nightbot. Nightbot was in first place when you were gone. He was holding it. Let's see. Nah, Nightbot ain't having the top spot over my lifeless shell. is that happening? I told you watch out for Nightbot. This guy has some tricks up his sleeve here. All right, let's see. 2 seconds, this thing should disappear. Boom. Disappear, reset it. Come back here, put 0. 0. Wait for the next range. I think the next range, gotta wait for the next range now. Do. Be careful of FOMO when GJ moves like this. Yes. Gotta be cautious. So yeah, I'm still gonna wait. I'm still gonna wait. Hopefully get a buy. If gold can come down like this and create some structure. Dun, 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 dun. I think at the same time, some gold sells below 33.45 could be good. Got a pretty nice range here, but I'll still be looking more for. I still feel comfortable definitely with a buy setup though, because on Freaky Friday I'm anticipating that the daily candlestick is just gonna keep moving up here towards 33.70. So it would be nice to see like a fakey below the support. Yeah, candlestick break below. Or maybe not break below and just respect it. Actually, it would be better to have it respected. That way we have less variables at play. Because if it breaks these lows, or if it breaks this wick, you're going to have a sell. And if it sells and then you have a buy, you're going to have like a bit more of a variable. Because there's already a sell that's in play. So it'd be nicer actually for price to... It can close below this level. That's fine, but it mustn't break this wick. At least so it's a bit more clean. That's by 33.44. But until then, I think, you know, price is just going to range here. Like, as you can already see, we got a resistance. You got a support. This from here to here is not worth taking a trade. Obviously, from here to here, not worth taking a trade. So you got to let the candlesticks breathe. You know, they got to move. Whether that's going to be upwards or bearish. But it's definitely going to move. Got to stretch its legs here, like GJ. When failure is not an option, you must find a way and cannot let Nightbot have the throne. Yeah. So yeah, another one, 50-minute sweep, market shift, enter and retest. Awesome. Small little accumulation that's building up here. This thing could just pop up. Got about 1 hour, 5 minutes to pre-New York. This is done. GJ should be trying to correct this move. Yeah, you mustn't FOMO. Someone said as well, you mustn't FOMO into GJ when it's moving like this, because it's already down as a support. It's already had its push. But I still think, you know, we're pretty shy of 200 over there. If you get like a nice buy entry, you know, most likely might try and skyrocket for that 200 mark. Man, I haven't taken a trade on GJ in ages. $8.4. Well, how much pip stop loss is this? 9.4. I have not taken a trade on GJ in ages, but it looks like it wants to. Right now, it's currently moving upwards. So you can see this line right here as well. Currently overall moving bullish here on pound yen. It's just created an opportunity, a little bit of a dip. So it's created this dip here. It's created an opportunity for buyers to be coming in, because it hasn't yet taken out any significant levels of support. You still got significant levels of support, like down over here, for example. Correct? These are the new higher lows. Higher low, higher low. Right over here. So overall, still moving up bullish. I guess you could draw a trend line on there too. Training trend line. Maybe from here. Something of the sort. Got a bit of like a dynamic. Yeah, the thing about trendline, they act really nice as dynamic forms of support resistance as well. Just the same with the SMAs. How you have those reactions off of the SMAs. You also get the same kind of like same thing with the trend lines. Dynamic support and resistance. So that would be nice. It would be actually, I think, like maybe candlestick closes here bearish. Then breaks the highs. But damn, I have not yet cracked the GJ wine bottle yet in quite some time here. Since April 17th. That was my last GJ trade. That was a W. Actually, quite a nice W here. 2.14%. That was quite a nice W. But since then, I have not traded GJ. It's purely gold. Well, gold has a volume, so why not trade gold? Can try now I want to stick to my plan. I want to break my rules here yet. I'm going to watch GJ for a while and then see if it can keep moving like this. Then that's going to be the GJ that I know. Because for the most part, GJ has just been a lot of the time low volume, a lot of consolidation, no direction type thing, you know. But this is like much more relatable GJ price action when it's opening up like this. I want to like focus here on Goldie more. Hey, Goldie has not disappointed me of late, so I'm gonna stick with Goldie. Oh, nice, you brought that indicator back. Yes. Just waiting to use it again. But we're gonna have those moments. Gonna have those moments again. Maybe we might go back into the shotgun mode. We're still doing shotguns in the beginning of the year. Shotguns from January up until the beginning of April. Then we've just been doing swings from April up until now July. Can a person be greedy during the evaluation channel since the main goal is to get funded account? Yes. You can be greedy during the challenge phase. Because, you know, the idea is you're trying to pass it, right? Because you have a lot more going against you than for you when you're doing challenges. So, you know, once you get the initial pass, then you can be a little bit more cautious. You can like have your buffer there. You create your buffer for yourself. And then just start taking it a bit easy. But the initial challenge phase, yeah, you definitely got to be aggressive for sure. You know, you've seen those people who are like, oh man, if I held this trade, I'd have passed my challenge. You hear people who talk like this? You don't want to be like that. Because those trades, you need those trades to pass your challenges. Not that, oh, I could have passed my challenge here if I held this trade. You want to avoid that as much as possible. I think the best time is usually when the markets are trending. You can get away with directional markets to pass challenges. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents. But anyway, you gotta look at, for yourself, you gotta look at your data, right? Look at your data, look at your hit rate, look at how far your trades actually push, look at your risk. I think it's gonna be very subjective to what it is and how it is that you trade. Because for me, this is what I would do, correct? I'll just do my regular consolidation breakouts because I already know they run. I already know these trades run. You can see I have all my data here. I know that these trades, they can run. So for me, if I'm doing a challenge, why would I trade the way I normally trade on a day-to-day basis when I know my trades can run? You know, I just need to hold. Worst case scenario, I get a couple more break-evens, but I just need to get those 1 or 2 trades, you know? 1 or 2 trades and then just like pass it like this one time, finish. Worst case scenario, you get a few break-evens, you know, big deal. Big deal. Why would you not hold when you have the data that shows you your trades can keep running, you know? But that's why I said it's subjective. It depends because not everyone has the same trading results. Some people, maybe for some people, it makes more sense to just trade like the way they normally trade and then just slowly pass it. Yep. Release shotgun indicator, please. It's in the description box if you want it. You can get it there. Yeah, so what are we doing here? What are we doing here, Goldie? Can we come down? If we can come down, that would be awesome. That would be really awesome. Because I don't think I've seen much of a swing entry since starting stream. Like, this was already playing out here before London opened. Break of the highs here to fill the range. But since then, price has just been moving up. Now it's broken into a sideways consolidation. Sideways consolidation. We're up 0.30%. Let's see what the hourly is sitting at. We got hourly resistance. Oh, we got hourly resistance. Hourly resistance. Previous hourly candle closed bearish. This current hourly does not have a bottom wick. That just opened. Got about 57 minutes left for this. It can still reflip and create the bottom wick. That's the thing. 4 hours shooting up here. Got about, I guess the hourly is closing in line with the 4 hour too, which is nice. So when this hourly closes, definitely a bunch more fresh volume should be coming in with that new higher time frame, with these new higher time frame candlesticks opening up. Got 4 hour about to open. Maybe on your broker it's already closed, the 4 hour, depending on what broker you're using. Your 4 hours probably already closed. Got like 56 minutes for mine. What about the EYES indicator? Yeah, that's the best indicator, man. Nothing can replace EYES. Chat, if you don't know the EYES, if you're new to the channel, man, that indicator is goated. It's a goated indicator. I got no analysis here on trading on Discord. This thing's gearing up. I feel like Goldie might want to just shoot up above these hourly highs because it's consolidating here. It looks like it's accumulating to actually break out because it's still in this bullish momentum. Any sells, if there's going to be any sell, it has to come below support here. 33, what's that? Like 33.45. $33.45. No sells. Any sells here would be like most likely a whip. Yeah, I think maybe this could be like a small whip here. Because they're getting this kind of bullish engulfing candlestick after breaking a low like this. I know you're thinking a breakout like this is quite tempting. Over here, maybe stop loss back within the range. Expecting price to break out of this zone to continue moving up bullish. Sure, people thinking about this. See 1 hour. But I think with the timing for me, it's not the best for such a move. I've usually seen moves like this at this specific hour tend to do like, they tend to like break and then come back down, break and then come back down. And then as we're getting closer to pre-New York or New York Open, the probabilities increase that the breakouts are going to play out. Oh man, I should have deleted all my videos on YouTube. That was such a nice video we did about this. Should have downloaded them before deleting them. Oh well, we just gotta make new ones. Yo, Nightbot. Is Nightbot back at the top? Oh, no way Nightbot is glitching the system. Even I can't jump that fast. I might have to call the ninjas to help me beat it. Yeah, I told you, man. I told you Nightbot was onto something, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Nightbot is evolving, Josho. It's getting all them minerals that it needs to defeat you, sir. Darwin's evolution. It came from a mere mortal of a lizard to the king of top fans. Why did I delete, by the way? Because YouTube was on my case. You know, YouTube was saying, hey man, this channel here is growing too quickly. We have to slow this channel. You know, and since the wild thing is like, since I deleted my videos, my channel has slowed down in growth. But I think the growth is going to pick up. It's going to pick up in time. But it's slowed down in growth. My channel is pretty much like, it's like a new channel. Like the algorithm thinks it's a new channel because I don't have all that data anymore. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's just like a character building moment for me, you know? That's how I look at life. That's how I always looked at things in my life. Whenever I have something like that happen to me, maybe my trading is not going so well, you know, something's not going so well, I just think, man, this is an opportunity to build my character. So when I get out of this gulag, you know, then I can be in a position to advise people who are in the same position some good advice. You know, that's why we started the stream here as well, was to pretty much do the same thing. You know, I would not start this stream if I was not already consistent. Oh, wow. This thing actually started breaking now. This is 5. That 5 a.m. candle still actually broke above this area here. Wow, crazy. I did not expect that to happen, but it is Freaky Friday after all. It is Freaky Friday after all. Oh, man. So much volume. Holy. Look at this thing. It's at 24 pips here. Sheesh. Damn. Freaky Friday. Yeah, now we're up 0. We're about tapping 0.50% there. So this is basically an accumulation breakout. Coming up towards 33.55. I know Ricardo is somewhere there in the shadows waiting for a sniper entry somewhere. After seeing price move up so quickly like that. Look at this 1 minute candle here, you see? 1 minute candle here pushed like 20 pips. 30 pips actually. Crazy. Crazy. Accumulation breakout. Let's see on the 1 hour left hand side. Yeah, it's just by hourly resistance over there. Ricardo the shooter. Now I see if the next hourly goes back to 75 for further sells. What do you mean for further sells? Price is moving up here. For the sells. Gold is on 1 right now. Anybody catch that breaky? That was an option for breaky there. But this would be like not even, this would not be part of my plan, but this is like basically the same idea or same concept as the 1 minute entries. 1 minute entries, you know, accumulation, breakout. But since it's on the 5 minute, yeah, stops would have been big. I mean, could have looked at it from the 1 minute, I suppose. And stop within the range, back within the range. Guess that could have played out. Guess that could have actually played out. Damn. I wasn't ready. I was not ready to execute on such a move. I saw it, but I was not ready. Yeah, Gijo looks like he wants to retrace, huh? Oh, Joshua's having a tough one today. Number 3. Number 3 on the leaderboard. Man, what a breakout. Yeah, you know, when something like this happens, you really have to control that FOMO you're feeling. Because I bet you're feeling a lot of FOMO when something like that happens. But right now, it's not the time to touch this thing because, you know, it's currently in a distribution phase. It just hit hourly highs over there too. My purpose for this evening is to explain why I believe that the Federal Open Market Committee FOMC should reduce our policy rate. Where did you copy paste that from? A Red Phoenix, thank you for the sub, man. I know chat goes quicker after volume kicks in. Yeah, that's true. Because, you know, most of the time there's nothing is happening. You know, so what happens when volume comes into the market, not only does the chat move faster, but the views go up. You know, the views go up because also people want to see like if you cut the move. So you can see it's like the same way I think of psychology in the market is kind of similar way I think of psychology on YouTube when it comes to the trading space. Whenever there's a big move, you're always thinking like, oh, who cut the move? Who cut the move? You know, who was in that drawdown or and that sort of thing. Yeah, it's very predictable. You know, just like the market is predictable, the same patterns are also found in real life. But yeah, that's true. But right now we don't have nothing right here. You see, I think this was such a nice consolidation breakout for Freaky Friday continuation from this area. That's why I'm kind of like I was more hoping to get some buys instead of like any sells, because I think what the daily is targeting around 33.70 area over here. Needs to come up to these rejection wicks. So we might just keep moving up like slow and steady basically for the rest of the Friday over here. The market is a visual representation of real people. Yes. It's real people who move the market. It's not these levels. You might think it's these levels, like, oh, we tapped into like some hourly resistance, but it's people like also moving the market, you know? So it's important to pay attention to how price even comes towards those levels and how it reacts during those levels. Like GJ here is it's going into like a small low volume because there's a resistance here on the left hand side after filling this range down towards support. Small little resistance there. Man, I wish Goldie would have given like a much better opportunity. I was waiting for price to come down. I was hoping like price would come down like this, retest some kind of zone down here, and then break above. Chart full of emotions. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, there's a bunch of emotions here. I mean, definitely think about the sellers, you know, the amount of sellers who just got liquidated here, because the market is quite directional. So there's a lot more confidence that when you take a buy, there's more confidence that price moves up. That's what I was kind of thinking, like, man, if I got a buy, I'm at least on the right side of the market. You know, there's still going to be confidence for that directional bias. Because if you take a sell and price is moving up like this, usually the moment you have a trade start putting you in drawdown, there's a higher probability you get stopped out than if you had a buy like this and then the trade puts you in drawdown. You know, because you're still trading with the overall trend and direction, that confidence just you'll have a better chance to kick back in, and then your trade will play out. I would say that's a very true experience in the market. So whenever I get the chance to trade with a daily, man, it's so much nicer. But at the same time, these riskier trades also the ones which play out. You know, so it's like about finding a balance. Like yesterday, there was this kind of like riskier buy opportunity here. It's kind of like a shotgun play, stop loss below here. It was a valid range up towards like this area. Correct? It was a valid range once candlesticks started breaking the previous candle highs. And then, you know, that's what played out. So look at this. That was what played out. And that was part of the mechanical rule. The mechanical rule is going to tell you, screw your emotions, take the trade. That's what it's going to tell you. Because you're going to look at this and say, oh, but you know, we're moving down. Like overall price action is moving down. So what it comes down to at this point, when you find yourself in this scenario, which you will, you just have to repeat this to yourself. Am I okay with taking this loss? That's what you have to tell yourself. Like, you know, you're going against the trade. So if you do take the loss, you don't play the victim. You want to avoid playing the victim as much as possible. You know, so sometimes you get triggered like this and then it comes down like that. But if you play the victim, then you're going to start like over trading and revenge trading and that sort of thing, like blaming yourself. But, you know, sometimes those are the safer ones. And then there was one that happened right above here too. Break of the highs, which technically is a safer one because it's breaking like some key level of structure. But the push, you know, it was a pretty decent push. Wasn't a right push to put your stops to break even. It still played out actually. But still more risky because, you know, price came down afterwards. It didn't push that much, if that makes sense. It makes sense. Someone trying to meet targets, so they dump big money in the market hoping others follow the candle. I have a theory that sharks are sometimes big banks on tilt. But are they aiming to reach certain levels? Yeah, for sure. Like banks have quarterly targets, correct? So whenever a bank has quarterly targets, or the market has, let's say the market has quarterly targets, there's nothing that really can stand in its way. It's going to get to that level. Let's say if that was 3,600, it's going to get to that level. There's a bit of that's a what? Anonymous. Like it kind of operates on its own accord, the market. And I think, you know, the movie that I always suggest people to watch is The Big Short. So you can get like a good understanding of this if you're also much of a visual learner and you learn a lot from visual learning and that sort of thing. Yeah, The Big Short is pretty nicely capturing this. Like how price, if it has a target, it's going to get to that target. You know, and then it makes you wonder, like, if the system is rigged and that sort of thing, which it is to some extent, of course. Of course, you know, think about it this way. If you were, if God gave you the responsibility and say, you know, this is the world, I want you to lead this world, and you have to design the systems. You have to design the systems in your favor, correct? You have to find a way that worst case scenario, you got backup plans and you have some sort of like authority over certain things happening, right? That's how the real world works as well. You know, that's how our systems are built as well. It's not random. It's not as random as it might seem. You know, human beings, I think, like, the modern human being, well, we've been around for like 6 million years, around 6 million years. Like, in that time, for sure, like, there's definitely been some systems in place to obviously keep things in order. And, you know, you're going to see that in the world market as well. So if you got targets, if there's a target that's supposed to be met, it's going to meet that target, but it's not going to be completely random as well. Like, as you can see right now, that there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. So there's also you can't just push price up. It also has to kind of make some economical sense at the same time. So, you know, for me, I think like a price is going to be heading towards like 3,500. It's not a question of will it go to 3,500? It will go to 3,500. I can assure you this. This is not financial advice, but it will go to 3,500. The question is, when will it go to 3,500? You know, and that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for those fundamentals to kick in. We're waiting for the macro news. We're following the macro news events. We're following the rate cuts. We're following the tariffs and all of these things. And then, you know, price, eventually gold is going to start moving up again. We're going to see all-time highs at 3,500, and then price will just keep moving up again. If you had a bank's capital, would you want it to get to a place you could take a big buy to make the candle fly up? Then as people enter, you can take small partials gradually, making 5-minute pullbacks. Yeah, that's where you go down the rabbit hole, because, you know, like these systems, you don't even need to actually put real money inside of it. It could just move up. Kind of like how, you know, when you get a funded account, it's not real money. You think even once you get funded, it's not real money, it's all demo capital, but you feel like it's real money. But they just pay you out based on your performance, correct? So you could think about the market in a sort of synthetic way like that. Like for us, yeah, it makes sense. You get a bunch of buying volume. We have all these book maps and everything, which they do work, and volume and everything does play a role. But at the same time, we're talking about the underlying factors of what drives markets, right? The boogeyman, if you will. It doesn't need that sort of like stimulation necessarily. Just watch The Big Short, guys. Like, don't take my word for it. Just watch The Big Short. I think it nicely encompasses some of these ideas. I was AFK here. It's 10:19 a.m. Now we got like a small little break and retest here. These are all good theories, but that gets you effed up in the market. Keep it simple. Exactly. Exactly. Just keep it simple. They're nice stories to hear, right? They're nice stories, but at the end of the day, is it going to help you? No, it's not going to help you. It's like Billy Carson. You guys know Billy Carson? That guy talks about the Anunnaki and all these ancient civilizations. Man, it's pretty nice to listen to, but it doesn't help you at the end of the day, you know? It doesn't really... It's just nice. Interesting. Ooh, the boogeyman. I think we will get the wick fill up maybe. Yeah, let's see here on the 1 minute time frame. Not seeing anything too interesting though. Not seeing anything too interesting. But yeah, right now the market is directional. That's why I mean, like, if the market is picking a direction on the day, it's gonna move in that direction. So that's why I'm noticing with like Freaky Fridays, especially on a Freaky Friday, I'm always cautious about the way price is moving. Because on Freaky Friday, this is why we call it Freaky Friday. We're expecting this kind of like movement, you know? It's like a wave. It pushes price in one direction. Because the weekly candlestick here is about to close. Notice how the weekly candlestick's pulling up because it's about to close. So it's like a wave. And you kind of want to be like, You know, you feel a lot better if you take trades in the direction of that. Billy the liar? Yes. Now he got caught out. He got caught out. Man, he lied too much, you know. That's why I said on yesterday's stream, don't lie. Because if you lie, you have to cover that lie with another lie and another lie. So, you know, Billy Carson is a perfect example of that. And, you know, this guy lied about speaking Sumerian. He lied about a lot of things. Um, 100% is a plethora of theories and they could all be right for different situations, but the common pattern is where the profits are. That's true. The only thing that is real is where your consistency, where your edge lies. That's the only thing that you can prove. You know, so you're going to have a theory of a trading idea of how this can be profitable, and once you have this theory, you have to prove the theory. You know, otherwise it's just gonna be like an opinion or like an idea, and then you have to start proving the idea, correct? And you have to prove it more than once. You have to replicate it more than once so it can actually hold some ground. So if you have like one profitable month, you know, it doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean as much as having maybe a quarter being profitable. You get a quarter being profitable, yeah, you're really onto something. But as a... I forgot this guy's name. But anyway, you know, he says 25 trades are a good start to see if your system is going to be profitable. 25 trades, and if you can get a good result within 25 trades within a month, then that's going to be already a good sign or a good signal to keep going in this direction. The problem is a lot of people see results, maybe they're going to see like 5, maybe 10, maybe 15 or something like that, and think they have it figured out to only start getting the reds again. You know, you're going to have some good greens, then you're going to start having reds again. Reds again, reds again. So try and push your systems towards like at least 25 profitable trades, without over risking, you know, following as mechanical as possible. Because remember, when you're trying to do a theory, it's like you're in a laboratory, correct? So you have to do it in a way that it's part of the, you know, it's step by step, that you can replicate step by step and remove like any outliers, so you can be sure that your results are getting 100%. 100%. So yeah, get like 25 trades. Do like 25 of your best trades. You know, 25 of the trades that you don't second guess. 25 of those. It's gonna take a good level of discipline. Yeah, the first time I saw Billy, I was like, wow, this guy might know something. Then 3 to 4 videos later, I was like, this guy's waffling. Yeah, I didn't even watch him. Like I was recommended to watch his things like a few months ago, but I knew it was Fugazi in the beginning. So it was only about it was just about time that he got like exposed. But crazy thing is, been doing it for years. Been saying this for like what, 15, 20 years. But I could already see from my experience of those types of topics and the way certain things have been packaged, I already knew that was Fugazi. So I was quite happy to see that religious guy expose him like that. I forgot his name, but he came in with real facts. It's just the same way as you see Russell Brand. If you see Russell Brand's content, you immediately know it's Fugazi, right? Like you can see these types of people. There's a whole platform for these types of people, you know. It's called BitChute. If you ever go on this thing called BitChute, man, you're gonna find all that crazy theories and stuff. You know, the thing, because YouTube does a lot of monetization sometimes too, you know. So they try to go on like websites like BitChute or Kick. Start going on like Kick maybe. Or Rumble, you know, Rumble. Nothing beats experience in life and in the markets. Because, you know, like once you learn from one thing, you can never repeat the same mistake again. You know, if you're actively trying to become better, you're not going to repeat the same mistake again. Yeah, exactly. Wes Huff. Wes Huff. That guy knows his stuff. Wes Huff knows his stuff. Billy Carson was saying something and Wes Huff was like, oh, but I have this right here. This is actually from the scripture. It's right here. Where exactly does it say that Jesus was not crucified? And then then Billy Carson's like, all right, fair enough. Let's move on to the next question. Like, that was brutal. That was so brutal. If you watch that podcast, like, the man actually had the scriptures and everything right behind him. Like, all the stuff. Anyway, let's just focus on trading here. Let's focus on trading. The 1 minute still not setting up anything too appetizing for me. The buys have already played out. So what are we gonna do now? I think we're just gonna have to wait again. Oh, and GJ played out nicely. GJ has beautifully distributed there. Just after moving from point A down towards point B. Such a nice push here. Damn. Oh, Ellie, happy birthday. Hope you have an amazing day. Enjoy, 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 enjoy. Yeah, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it with a bad trade. What are we waiting for? Yeah, I'm right. I'm waiting for something like a bit obvious, you know? Something like that kind of stands out for me. But when you look at this and you ask yourself the question, does anything stand out for you here? So look at the way these wicks are forming. You got massive rejections here. You got massive rejections down here. Bunch of consolidating. So if nothing is standing out to you, then don't take a trade. The last thing that would have stand out to me was this breakout here, but I was not ready for an accumulation breakout. Looking at it in hindsight, maybe I should have done that. But anyway, you know, I was not planning on taking a breakout, but that was the only thing that stood out to me was prices in this kind of bullish momentum. It broke into a sideways channel right here, and then it started to break above, you know, 33.50. 33.50. Probably could have put my stop within the range, something like this, and then price could have moved up, but you know. I guess that's the thing with streaming. Usually when I'm on stream, I'm not as locked in because there's a lot going on. So I kind of like, it's much easier for me to miss on a few things. Lord Chester, you can't use all capital. I made 2K in the early Asian and lost it all in the early London. Why do I always overtrade? When will I learn? Yes, exactly. That is something that happens to everybody. It used to happen to me a lot. I would win during like pre-London time, and then I would lose during the London time. That always used to happen to me. And then I would overtrade during the New York time because I would be on the charts basically the whole day. Yeah, I think it was really bad. It was really bad. If I was gonna do something back then, I'll probably like stick to one trade a day and then just paper trade the other trades on a separate account. I think I would have seen a lot better progress and I would have been making a lot more withdrawals. But that used to happen. I used to always say, why do I keep doing this? Giving back the profits. Because, you know, if you have a profitable day and you're not yet a profitable trader, you are within the 10% of people who are making money that day. You know, and the rest of the 90% of people who are losing money in the markets, you know, you survived. You're part of this small little group of people who can actually call a day profitable. So why would you ruin that by taking another trade? Yeah, that's already a pretty nice probability. That's already a pretty damn good probability. You know, you should let the probabilities work for you. You know what else is a crazy probability? The fact that you're here right now listening to this stream. You were once a sperm cell competing with 70 million plus other sperm cells to fertilize an egg. And the probability that you're here, man, it is insane that you're here right now. You know, so you gotta look at, you gotta be thankful. If you have a winning trade, be thankful. If you have a losing day, you know, be thankful that you're alive and you exist and you get a chance to learn from that losing day. Yeah, but it's crazy, you know, to get that the genetic from your dad, the genetic from your mom, the specific genetic process, chemical reactions that happen when a sperm is also fertilizing the egg, that also plays a role into shaping the, what do you call it? The person that you are today, basically. It's like life is one massive lottery. So, you know, the fact that you're alive, that's crazy, that's a crazy thing right there already. That's a crazy thing. Yeah, the word I was looking for was multi-cell organism. Because, you know, like for multi-cell organism, there's a lot of things which have to go right for you to exist. You know, it's not just a sperm cell, but there's a lot of chemical reactions that have to go right just for you to exist, which is wild. So just think about also in trading, man, if you get 10%, you're part of the winning guys. That's awesome. What your job is to do is to be part of them as consistently as possible if you're a day trader. So from Monday to Friday, and you're going to have a better odds taking less trades. If you get a chance to swim with a shark, you know, it'll be a different story. If I push you into the ocean full of sharks every day, if I push you in just to have one dip, see if you can survive, would you go back in? You would not go back into the water. You would say, oh, damn, you know, I survived that. And I ask you, do you want to go back in again? You're most likely going to say no. You're going to say, no, sir. Thank you, sir. I survived today to fight another day. The problem is there's no repercussions here. You know, if you take a losing trade, no one's going to hold you accountable. You have no boss to tell you like, hey, man, you're fired and that sort of thing. So it's easier for you to get away with things. You know you're going to get that salary at the end of the month. So if you're getting salary at the end of the month, you're going to take more risks in the market. Because worst case scenario, you're going to get paid at the end of the month. But once you start doing it full time and there's no salary at the end of the month, then you're going to be like, okay, you got to be more patient, you know? And it's also different. Once you have like, let's say once I had a year's worth of savings in my bank account, my perspective on trading also looked completely different. I was being able to be more patient, more selective with my trades. And you know, I think that's the best place to be, because then you can really start growing and building like a better discipline in the market. But it's an exceptional growth. It's an exponential growth, because, you know, if you get opportunity to get funded, you can get to that level quite quickly. Imagine getting funded proper and getting a $5,000 payout, or heck, maybe a $10,000 payout. You know, that's going to give you some room to breathe, some breathing room for your trading. So you're going to say, okay, you know what? This is awesome. I'm going to use this as a way as an opportunity to buy myself more time. You know, sometimes you can look at money as, instead of just money itself, just look at it in terms of time. Especially when you're trying to achieve something. You know, you're initially in the initial stages, what you're doing is you're trying to buy yourself time. Correct? That's why I say buy yourself time. When you start a new business, you know, when people quit their jobs, maybe they have like 6-figure paying jobs, they've bought themselves time to try and become like an entrepreneur, because then, you know, they have like some savings. So you're just going to look at that in terms of time. And then once you start really making money and things are going well, then, you know, that kind of perspective also shifts. You get to a new level of thinking about money. You maybe now no longer thinking about it in terms of time. You know, that's also going to evolve. And the same thing is going to evolve with your trading as well. But yeah, anyway, like price now is like distributing, and Yeah, not seeing anything too interesting here on the 5-minute, to be honest. We did end up getting the wick fill. Yeah, wick fill played out nicely there. His words resonate with me. I always make good profits in the early Asian. Still, I am a losing trader. Dun, 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 dun. Where's like Goldie sitting at? There's like hourly resistance. I still don't want to sell. I think the only time I want to sell gold is if I can see some kind of like structural shift. Maybe price starts coming down like this. So what, GJ is still moving up on here. Yeah, actually, I think this would have been a valid shotgun entry. Let's see. So we got buys above here, and we got the next zone. See, this is a good GJ. This is the GJ we all love and know. And then let's bring this back here. Yeah, candlestick close above, prepare for buy. Then, oh, it's invalid. Why is it invalid? Oh, the range. It says, how many pips is this? Oh, it's 7.4 pips. We're looking at minimum profit range of 9.5. I guess if you change that, it was 7.4 pips. Because the range looks big. Stop loss here is like 6.9 pips. Kind of just have to adjust that by the kind of volume that you're getting in the market. Because that range there, 7.4 pips, it still looks pretty good. It still looks pretty wide. And then that will be the move. We'll put this on 0. Jeez, Goldie's kind of a hard one to catch. Only thing I can catch here is on the 1-minute breakout so far. Hey guys, thanks for the 100 likes, so appreciate it. Let's go. Yeah, the daily. Yeah, Chad. My daily predictions, if you just came onto stream, is 90, 33, 70. I think the best is probably a 1 minute on a good pullback with fake out confidence, maybe. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. I think so also. I think so also. I kind of wanna, I don't know if I'm gonna switch the swing entry models for, I kind of want to do another switch. Maybe focus on consolidations. But if I'm focused on consolidation, it's gonna be very choosy about the ones that I choose, that I go with. Because we haven't made a change since April, May, June, July. And I say the consolidations are playing really well. So I'm considering just going back to, I'm really considering just going back to consolidation plays like we used to do last year. See live news. Do we get anything? Let's see. Japan's chief trader negotiator Akazawa Besant indicated he will continue with tariff talks. I think this could have also played a role in the volume that we got on GJ. Let's see. Trump's new Alcatraz maximum security prison could cost $2 billion. Trump's talking about Powell spending $2.7 billion on renovations for the feds, but he's spending $2 billion here for this new Alcatraz. What's it calling? Alligator Alcatraz prison. Oh, nice. Yeah, DAX push up above resistance here. It actually looks like a shotgun. Shotgun entry to move up towards a... That's 24,492. Well, the shotgun would be like a break above here and stop below this candlestick. Create new higher high. And then to fill the range. Oh, and it came down. It came pushed up and then it came down, break even. I don't think these pullbacks are gonna come. If we see the 1 minute just keep moving like this, it's probably gonna head up towards the... Well, we got pre-NY anyway soon. In the next like 12, 13 minutes. The next hourly candlestick should give us the continuation or pullback. Because this hourly is about to close. It's most likely going to close bullish. So it's going to hold a certain level over here. You know, sometimes before candlesticks close, especially higher time frames, they kind of like, they could hold levels too. So maybe hold some levels over here. And then next hourly is going to determine whether we just keep pushing up. Then at that point, you know, then I guess some buys would make sense. You know, that means we're not going to be getting those strong pullbacks that we want to see. Good thing is there's no fundamentals today though. So there's nothing much affecting price. And I think, what is that, Monday here? We got French bank holiday, Euro. But nothing on Monday. It's always nice to start the week without anything like that. Any red folders. But yeah, today's looks pretty clean. Consumer sentiment. I mean, that's the only thing 2 hours into the New York session, but it's not a red folder. Man, as far as this week goes, I feel like gold hasn't really done too much this week. If looking at the daily time frame. This is GJ. Let's go on gold daily. Yeah, let's actually have a recap here. So since Monday, we did have our rejections. About here, we have literally not done anything here. Anything on this week. We had rejections on Monday off resistance, and then, you know, price came down. But it has not moved. It's just chopping around. Shopping around 3370 and 3310 area. And I think that weekly is actually about to flip. Yeah, weekly candlestick does look like it wants to flip. We could see the flip here today for Freaky Friday. Just especially with the way momentum is carrying on. Ooh, man, if we see that weekly flip and this candle here is to close bullish, I'm anticipating a big pop up. So this weekly flip is coming in was at 33.58. See how that looks on the 5. All right, nothing much to look at there. See, so it'll be the rebreak of these wick highs. Yeah, I think that's what it's gearing up for, man. Look at the way this 4-hour candlestick also looks here. It's about to close in like 9 minutes. I think skyrocketed at like 234 pips. It's about to close. So you're going to get the new 4-hour open. And with that new 4-hour volume, this could actually give a really nice pop up. And then fill this wick here on the left-hand side. It's going to get like a small wick fill. I think that's what I would be expecting for pre-NY into New York time. And watch out for the trend. Because as you can see, like price is still moving up bullish. Remember, this is weekly candlestick volume. That's why you're seeing the 4-hour candle like this. Because that weekly is pulling up. That big weekly candlestick is pulling up like this. And that's where it's going to flip. That's where it's going to flip. So maybe leave like a bottom wick. And then close something like this. As we head up towards like 33.70. So that's what I'm going to be anticipating for Freaky Friday here. Yeah, but Gijo's nice. I mean, Gijo kind of moved kind of good over here. I think it just extended the range. So it's accumulating to finally break above. And for Gijo, I'm expecting 200. It'll be perfect for Gijo to meet 200 here to close off the week. Yeah, the weekly time frame. Yeah, it could easily meet 200. You know, it's a quite important area because look at this. Once we start breaking above 200, you have so much range here on the left-hand side, and we're getting away from this accumulation. This is going to be distribution. So going into next week, this is giving you a good perspective of the way that next week's candle is going to behave. So once we break above that 200 zone, I think we're filling up this wick. And this is going to be a distribution. So you had a massive accumulation here on pound yen, and then that's going to be the distribution. So into next week, I'll be expecting pound to continue moving up. We can continue breaking above 200. It's going to be a distribution. Same thing as what happened here on gold. See that same accumulation? So I'll be expecting price to do the same thing, to break above and then start distributing towards the upside. But yeah, chat, I think we're going to end off the stream here. I'll see you guys next week, Monday, for London session. And take care, everybody. Gotta head out. Adios. Enjoy your weekend. See you, Vikrant. Alright, adios, Ricardo. See you later, Joshua. Catch you later, Nightbot, Lawchester, Spike, Mark, Ellie. See all y'all next week. Enjoy your weekend. Do some backtesting. We're going to do a simulation this weekend in the mentorship. We're going to do simulation this weekend. Maybe we're going to do it on YouTube as well. Majid, catch you later. See you guys. Derek, catch you in the next one. FX Brainiac, Grant Waters. See you guys. Take care. I'm still going to be looking for one more trade, hopefully, like later on. I just want to go chill for a bit and then see what happens. So yeah, enjoy, everybody. Catch you in the next one.
Diamonds like a grit, no time for this slip, homie. Now we bout to dip.